Hey, what's up, Scott Ball? Coming here with Imagination Creation Films, and today it's Friday, and it's time for the live stream. You know, the live stream that you look forward to, that I look forward to, that Rex looks forward to every Friday. He loves to come lay down. Although today he decided he was going to appear in a completely different location, which was a little weird for him. But we'll take it. I just had to move the GoPro a little bit, which it honestly looks like a VHS camcorder. That's pretty bad. But today is July 8th, 2022. And it's your Friday afternoon drive time. It's your You didn't see that. I'm not sure. Well, I mean, I don't normally have that kind of stuff there, but my little C-stand. That's sad. That's pretty sad. It's your afternoon drive time home. That's right. Everyone has been working so hard, ready for the weekend, and so we'll just sit here. Let's take a look at the traffic report. Yep, internet traffic looks pretty good. I'm also streaming to Twitter today. I have no idea how that's going to work. I can only do 3 at a time, so I'm just trying to find, where are people that want to chat? Where are they hanging out? Because I just like to connect with people. And if I get to a point where there's people all over all the different places, then I will. I'll just probably upgrade at that point, because then it would be worth spending the $50 a month on being able to do it. Good afternoon there, Reach. How are you? GoPro Cam. Yes, indeed. GoPro clearly sitting there at the photo version because it's noisy when you put it in video version. It's dumb. Hello, Camille from the Netherlands. Good to see you again. And I have been looking a lot lately at that MKH50, really trying to see where it fits in the world, and it's probably going to be a pretty reasonable dialogue mic for inside, because it is so short. It might do the very thing that a normal cardioid. So how has the MKH50 been treating you? I know you just got yours. Is it good? Is it worth checking out? Let me know, and let's chat about it. Let's see, what do we have to talk about today? And it's another slow day. I don't know why it's a slow day. I've spent about 5 hours this morning working with Dragon Frame and the Kessler stuff. Just figuring out what can you get away with, what can you not, that kind of stuff. And people ask me, well, what do you mean by get away with? And well, my answer is simple. I'm doing things that it wasn't designed really to do. I mean, they do Dragon Frame, and they do it with second shooter, they do it with cine shooter, all of that, but they don't necessarily support putting the Pocket J Pro on the shuttle dolly with a cine slider on the end of it, with the cine shooter hanging underneath, 8-axis going on, lots of weight, but it does pretty well. I mean, so there's limitations to that. So I spend a lot of time working through a Frankenrig config, trying to determine, where am I going to introduce, say, like vibrations, because there's stuff that always happens that just the day of the life of any motion control robots, it doesn't matter. But if you amplify it by setting it at the end of an arm, I mean, that could really amplify. So you got to figure out, what you got to do. Like Frankenrig, the 2.0 version that I used for the Kessler roll video, I spent a couple of days figuring out how fast you can move before you introduce unnecessary vibration, what kind of acceleration, deceleration, that kind of stuff. And, then you can get a very, very usable image out of it. So I've got to put in the time. Plus, I've changed the design now. This is like Frankenrig 2.1. And so it now has a slider hanging on the front of the jib. So before, I could go forward and backwards, or I could go side to side with the jib, just depending on which way I had the jib arm. But now I can go forward with the jib this way, and then the side to side happens up here on the jib arm itself. So it's kind of exciting. So it's just working those little things out. Camille says, I received it. It's perfect. Great sound, industry standard, perfect. That's cool. I'm gonna have to check one out because it is it's kind of new. It's worth checking out, I think, because it is much shorter, much shorter than I originally had thought it was. Sorry about that. Let's see what else is going on. Been writing some music, working on a job up northeast. That'll be in July, so we're doing a lot of pre-pro for that. Not a lot, just a little. Doing some work on that. It's been so hot here this year. I don't know what's going on in Texas, but woo, it was 101 yesterday, 101 today. It's supposed to be like 100. No, it's supposed to be 104, I think, today. Maybe 105 tomorrow. It's going to be hot. So there's going to be a lot of time, I think, spent in the pool. And for those of you keeping score with the wasps in the studio, I still have no idea where they're getting in. No idea. I mean, it's hard when there's stuff everywhere. You can't possibly know where. And then, they got little holes here and there for things, but I don't know. I don't know where they're coming in. But I've killed 8 of them now. They are. This is my fresh one this morning. Well, it's not even this morning. It was. Let me see if I can swoop him up here. He's probably still alive. These are the nasty ones too. They are ugly little boogers. Look at that. He's got that little thorax in the back with the line. Oh, they're yellow and black and boop, bye-bye. That's how we do. So we use the soap and water to get rid of them, and I mean it works. You can spray them, and they can't breathe because the soap just coats them, and they kind of fall, and then you step on them and make them pay. So what is everybody working on? Boy, it's really quiet. It's like crickets out here. I don't know what's going on. Maybe I need to start these 1 hour later? I don't know. I did start scheduling the guest speakers, the interviewees for the live streams. So they are absolutely coming back because I feel pretty good with the StarLink. It does cut out periodically, but never like forever. It'll cut out for, I don't know, most I've ever seen it cut out for was like 6 seconds. But I canceled my other ISP. They asked, yes, can I ask who you're going with? And I said StarLink, and she goes, oh, drat. And I'm like, I mean, yeah. Did you think it was not going to happen? Look, it's so cute. It's the Matthews baby C-stand. I would call this like I guess I could call it a baby C-stand. I mean, you can't really call it anything else because it's really just a baby C stand. Let's put that back over here. Let's see here. Did talk. I talked to actually Reach there about the Star Trek short film, the one I was working on. So I think we're gonna pull something off. I don't know when we're gonna do it. Probably later this summer, maybe when things cool down. But yeah, did you see the Georgia Guidestones? Someone destroyed them. It's really wild. You got to wonder why they did, but someone did. And it's kind of funny. I had that video from like 3 years ago where I went out there and I just shot a bunch of different angles with the red, just trying to get some cool shots and such. And where is? Well, there we go. So like I got that shot. That why is that not centered? That's weird. Like that one I got from there. The background it's a little overdone. I'm gonna pull back on it. That's the real sky. It's just got a heavy color grade on it. And I'm just gonna put those out there. Maybe see if any stock footage shows up. I know my video on it got like thousands of views right after it, and I still get comments. These comments are crazy. People think all kinds of things about how it was done. Struck by lightning or UFOs came down, and I'm like, okay. Bill, hello, Bill. I'm listening, but doing cuts on the documentary. I wonder, because like there's more people here. There's more people than it says there is. Again, it's kind of interesting because I'm on Facebook, I'm on YouTube and Twitter. I don't see anybody on Twitter. I don't even know what that would look like on Twitter, honestly. I should probably go look. That'd be funny. See what I look like on there. I don't want to change accounts. Just come on, really. So the internet is down I'm live. Look at that. Wow, it streams too. And there's 0 people watching on Twitter. That just goes to show you. It's not doing very well, but that's interesting. Okay, so back to that. There. CG, did you get your StarLink hooked up? You're all good now? My neighbor's super excited. He got his the other day and hooked it up. It was very easy. Got it done, and then he wanted a mesh network. I sent him a link to the one that I have here, and within 10 minutes he was up and running, and now he's got Wi-Fi everywhere, and it's pretty stable. I noticed that StarLink, what it reports is not always what you get. So it definitely varies a lot. Like up until like right now, was it? Yeah, it's cutting in and out. I can see it kind of glitchy. It'll say like you're downloading it like 35 megabits, and then if you run it again, it'll be like 160. And so it's a variable thing, which I guess would be with load and atmospherics and who knows all them good things. But I mean overall, it is rock solid. It is one of those where Friday comes along and I go to watch TV and it works. Whereas before, Friday would come along and it'd be, oh, well, we're experiencing peak loads right now. We're so sorry. And you get nothing. Neighbor over here is sad because they have not gotten their email. for it, and I'm kind of wondering, did they just send out the people on the very first day only, and that's all the capacity they have? Because I know like every single person down my road signed up. But they all signed up like, well, I mean, I was ahead of everybody, but they all signed up several days after I did. Yeah, it's cool stuff. It's very up and down at the moment. Interesting. What is your instructions say? I finally got mine moved to the roof of the house, and it is zero obstructions now. But I had to put up, if I have the photo of it, I had to put up scaffolding, which was really, no, it was really hard to do when it's 100 and something degrees outside. Well, okay, it's not hard to do. People do it for a living and they don't whine about it like I do. But I'm just an air conditioned guy. I like my air conditionings. And okay, so then this is you can see the very top dish is my old wireless. Then you can see StarLink there just on the eve of the house, and then that was DirecTV there on the edge of the studio, and you can see my scaffolding up there. But that's 28 feet up in the air. It's definitely fun. It's been have I been, Lewis? I've been pretty good. I've been hot. I've been stressing about little things, the things that we can't control, but we're getting through it. We're getting through it like we should. Getting the Nighthawk when my adapter comes in. Copy that. Hello, Jared. Forgot to ask, what did you used to have, Hughes? So that dish there is it is like a Wi-Fi. It's on the same. Well, it's the business version of Wi-Fi, and it was supposed to get upwards of 70 to 90 megabits, and it did for like, I don't know, 5 or 6 weeks, and then it just went to poop. I mean, just real poop. The real struggle that I had, and the reason I had to use StreamYard of all things to stream, was I could do a speed test, and the speed test would report that I had 20 megabits of upload, but you don't. You only have 2. For whatever reason that they were doing, when you upload, one connection gets a maximum of 2 megabits of speed. And that was something I proved while a technician was here and had him try it. And he was like, huh, okay then. And he did it with his own stuff, did it with his own radio, and yeah. So I had 2 meg up, even though it said 20. And then this the reliability. They didn't care. They honestly just, I mean, they're not HughesNet, so they're not that level of don't care, but they're well, let's see here. So before the one I had previously, the StarLink, I had another one that basically just yanked out of the area to say, oh, we're no longer supporting your area. Sorry. If you go on to DSL reports and you type in what ISP has the lowest rating, it's that one. And they basically bought up all these Wi-Fis across the US and then just didn't do anything to support them. And all of these seem to be that way. I know that my former ISP, I guarantee they are catering to like physical connections now, like fiber and various things, because they know out here, when Starlink is out here for everyone, there's not going to be any wireless. No one is going to want it. Why? Because I paid $150, $158 a month for my wireless, and I'm paying 110 for StarLink. Now, Elon, don't go raising the prices, but I'm getting more performance, much better performance, and it's cheaper. I mean, these are good things. It's slowly getting hotter in Canada now. It's nice. You know, I've never understood and there's probably a very simple science explanation. Why is it if the longest day is June 20th or 21st, June 20th, I think it is, why isn't that the hottest day? I don't understand that. Why is it like August? Like August 1st is like the hottest day of the year. It doesn't make any sense. But it is what it is. Hotter in Canada. Now, when you say hot, Lewis, what do you mean by hot? What is it, like 75 degrees? It's all nice. You got a light breeze going on. Yeah. It's hot here. Very, very hot. Let's see. What else? I literally was trying to come up with a bunch of things to bring out here to talk about, so we could talk about whenever we didn't have things to talk about, because I don't like not having things. And then literally got a phone call, got 2 emails, got a client, all called within like the last hour before the live stream. So I'm ill prepared. Enjoy. Here's a picture of my dog. What would you all like to talk about? Because it is an open Friday. It should be a long live stream. I can go for quite a long time. I would enjoy enjoying one of those things that YouTube won't let me enjoy anymore. That'd be nice. Lewis is like, how did you know? It's Canada. It's always nice in Canada, except in the wintertime when it's cold, like bone-chilling cold. But there's parts of Canada that are always nice, period. It's kind of like San Francisco. How is San Francisco so perfect all the time? It's just the weather, not the city anymore, just the weather. The city is meh. The weather in San Francisco is perfect weather. You don't need an air conditioner. You don't really need anything. It's just, just wear a sweater, take it off. It's 74 degrees and a nice breeze today. 74. Wow. Man, that's what I had my air conditioner set at. Actually, it's at 73, which these ACs are amazing. Man, I'm gonna do a big old push on those one day. Say, Amazon, everybody go get them. They were cheap. I got that one for $5.99, and I got the one in there for like $6.79. And they were on sale. It's amazing. 12,000 BTUs, super quiet, super cool. I've never had in summertime had this studio this cold, and it's set to 73, and it is 73. Oh. Good question. What do you eat for July 4th weekend? Well, Lewis, did you happen to see my brisket? Because I did a whole video on the brisket. I even uploaded it to my other channel, Raw Cuts, and it was absolutely delicious. The complete how-to. It was rather interesting because it was quite literally the best tasting brisket I have ever prepared myself. Now, I've had some really good briskets over the years, but it was stupendously good, like really good. There's a picture of the brisket there, and here's a picture of me enjoying it on the next day. It's so good. Really, really good. On the pellet smoker. Did a fantastic job. Did 13 hours on that. What's it like over there? Outside, it's 101 degrees, I think, right now. Let's see. One day I'll get my weather station back up. I've had such difficulties with my weather station. I've owned that thing for almost 20 years now, and little parts go bad. But every time a part goes bad, the new part isn't compatible with the old stuff. So it's like constantly nickel and diming me. It's 101 degrees right now. So it's hot. It's very hot. And it's not super dry, but it's fairly dry humidity. Let's see what it is humidity wise. It is humidity 31%, which is fairly low. It's not Phoenix, but it feels like 106. So with that, Luca, hello, Luca. How are you? What's your plan for this summer, Scott? Are you traveling? Well, my plan was to travel. Gas and funds destroyed that. Well, not gas. Gas prices and available funds destroyed the summer travel because I had planned on, well, honestly, being back right about now. I was planning on going like at Cinegear and then cruising around with a big self project of stuff. But gas at $5 and something cents, not conducive to affordability. So gas is coming down. Thank you. God, I'm glad that is. So we'll look into that. I'm going up northeast at the end of July for a job up there, and then I'm gonna take the van. Gonna take the wife. So we're all gonna go up there together and just enjoy it, and then we're gonna go swing by Indiana and say hello to Kessie up there, see what's going on in that wonderful world up there of Kessler Crane. And if you need anything from Kessler Crane, there's a coupon code down below. Shh, don't tell anybody. It's not supposed to be active still, but it is, and it's 5% off. It's not a lot, but it's 5%. I don't know why I'm always coughing when I get on here. Probably because I'm talking. I need to see that brisket. Did you smoke it too? Oh, I did. It was so tender. The whole video is up on Raw Cuts, Lewis. Go get it. Go watch it. Go recreate it yourself. What are your sides of choice? Are you a coleslaw? I am not a coleslaw. I don't like cabbage. The only cabbage that I've ever liked, I can't say that there has been. Name something with cabbage in it, and I'll tell you if I like it, because the answer is probably no. Don't like cabbage, and I really don't like Brussels sprouts because they're like little cabbages. Yeah. But what are my sides of choice? Green beans. I really like nice, slow cooked green beans. Not watery. Not that like you go to a cafeteria and they dump a bucket of water with some green beans in it. Not that kind. It's I like where it's fresh green beans sautéed, and then you kind of set them and you put in like smoked onions or sautéed onions, mushrooms. Put all that in the green beans, and then with some salt, pepper, garlic powder. You don't need onion powder, but a little smoked paprika, a little chipotle. Also, what is the coriander? Coriander? Yeah, coriander. A little bit of coriander. Very savory. And then some balsamic vinegar and a little bit of Worcestershire sauce. I do like that. I also like macaroni and cheese, but I'm really not supposed to be eating that. Self-inflicted. What gear or tech do you have or used lately that is underrated, and what is overrated? Underrated. Underrated. Well, I want to go generic here. The gear that's underrated is literally the gear you have right now. whatever gear you have right now, it's underrated. No matter what, because everybody sees something new and shiny, they're like, "I must have it. I must have it." And unless there's a specific thing that it does for you, you don't necessarily have to have it. I mean, I have been fighting urges for a long time for some shiny new stuffs, and I still make money doing the things with the older stuff, and it's totally fine. So that's underrated. What's overrated? Painter's tape. Painter's tape is overrated. It doesn't even stick to anything. Why? I don't understand why it's so necessary for that. That. So let's see here. Liz says, "Yeah, I tried DoorDash with my dad's truck. We made $200, but gas is about 170, and you're going to have to pay taxes on the 31. It's figures. I need that sauce. So that sauce, yeah, I'll be doing an episode on the sauce, and I'm really hoping that I get some more views on that because, we all seek validation in life. We really do, and we really shouldn't. But like that brisket video is not doing well, and every time I put one out there, I'm like, okay, maybe this will be the one, and it'll get me excited, and then I want to do it, and I think it has like 12 views. It's nothing. Sauerkraut and hot dogs. There is sauerkraut, certain sauerkraut that I do like, but not all sauerkraut. I use some sausages with mustard and sauerkraut. I mean, that's good stuff. I'll give you that one. I need to try those green beans. Oh yeah, they're easy. Did you get your hands on the Area Super 35? Not yet. Well, I mean, I've touched it, but I have not played with it in a shooting capacity yet. We'll see where that goes. Do you eat out fast food or do you cook everything yourself? What's your preference? Quick meal. I don't eat a lot of fast food. I don't eat out a whole lot. The biggest reason is I don't think you all understand how incredibly cheap I am. Eating out costs a lot of money. To drive into town is a lot of money in gas, and then you have to spend it on food, which they have to be able to afford to pay people that have to pay a lot for gas and food and all that good stuff. It's really expensive, and we just don't do it that often. I do enjoy it a lot, but I just don't do it that much. We tend to cook everything ourselves. We don't do it all from scratch, but what's your preference for a quick meal? Ramen's pretty quick. I do enjoy Shin Black Ramen and just regular Shin Ramen. That's good stuff. We also do like curry rice with chicken. That's good. Little things like that. Shiny toys, indeed. I want the Aries so bad. I have a problem because I don't even work in film. Well, why would you want the Super 35 for filming YouTube videos? So I'm gonna preface this by saying I'm not putting down the Arri Super 35, the Alexa 35. So don't mischaracterize it. But why do you want the Alexa 35 for filming YouTube videos? And I know you're only that much serious, but what is it about that camera that gets you excited about for YouTube videos? Because I'll be honest, there's a lot of camera options out there. Even a couple of steps above YouTube videos that punch way above their weight class. My dad is a painter, and he says it's supposed to come off because it's for masking. Oh, I agree it's supposed to come off. The problem is it comes off. Like you stick it and it's like, it didn't even stick. It just falls. You asked for something that was overrated. I couldn't come up with anything on the fly, but I know painter's tape. I don't like that. Do you know any Speed Booster RF2 PL for Komodo, Takina, VistaVision, Metabones makes one? Speed booster RF to PL. I don't know of a speed booster to PL. I don't know of one. I don't, Luca. I'm doing the math in my head, and I suspect it's possible with the PL. I don't know. I don't think it is possible. I'm not sure you could get the elements in there to boost it in the PL with the flange depth. Man, got a hiccup in there. The depth of a PL mount, and I don't know. I don't know if that's possible. I don't know. Look, I don't know of one. It's a good question though. If anybody does, drop it below. 10 things you can't live without. Family, air, water, food, dog. I would, yeah. Those are not the answers you want. Things I could not live without. In the filmmaking world, things I could not live without. Things I could not live without. Man, I don't know. That's so tough. I can tell you my Komodo's on the list. I don't know where I'd put it in the top 10, but it's in the top 10 because Komodo, it's just too good, and it's still I think every once in a while people have them in stock, but it's still selling like crazy. That has got to be one of those where like in board meetings they're all sitting back going, no, I'm just. Well, I mean, that's been a truly successful camera, and it'll be exciting to see where everything goes from there. Things I can't live without. Things I can't live. I mean, honestly, probably my iPad has become one of the most useful tools that I've used. Now, I mean, I could do without it with like a MacBook Pro, but I'm using the iPad like daily, sketching and just literally everything. I don't know. I'll have to come back to that. I don't know. True, we got hungry waiting for orders and spent 30. So you made $1. But see, your time is also worth money too, Lewis. So that $1 you spent in line waiting, you could have been making money. Yep. I want to try the blue milk at Star Wars in LA. We can't wrap my head around. Oh, yeah, I did the Universal, the butter beer, and it was not anything like I was hoping. I mean, you put the word beer in there, man, it needs to have beer in it. It was not what I was expecting, and it was like $10. So yeah, I get you that. He says, honestly, color. I just like the color. It's the closest to reality and that instant film. Well, this is true. And that is literally what Arri has done with their entire Alexa line is how do we put film in the hands of people who always shot film digitally. And that's what they do. So they went way out of their way to make sure that it looks just like that. Now, everybody else, they do it differently. Sony is kind of there. I mean, even Red is kind of there now. When they came out with IPP2, you could get that very, very film look. It's right in camera. It's very easy. You just punch up some medium contrast with some probably low highlight roll off, and it's pretty well. Actually, you probably do hard really for film. Depends on what film it is. And it's absolutely gorgeous. And all of them can do that now. So the Arri, you turn it on and it looks like that. All the others, you turn it on and then you have to tell it how you want it to look. And then, the thing with Red is they shoot raw. And they shoot raw so you can make it look however you want. They give you the ingredients. You make the recipe. That's, I mean, that's the way it is. And, Arri shoots log because people actually do that very same thing with Arri. So, yeah. Um, Whoa, why is my mouth freaking out? If I ever become rich and get money, I might buy Arri. I mean, there's definitely a following. I mean, like I say, I don't dislike Arri at all. I think they make very good cameras and they make a beautiful image, and they're cool. For now, Komodo is in reach. Yeah, and that's. Let me finish my thought and then come back to that. There's that. I always talk about the thing that irritates me is the stigma and it's in every industry, every single thing. Oh, I only drive a Chevy, or I only drive a Ford, or a Peugeot, or whatever it is. People don't talk with that accent when they say Peugeot, but yeah, I mean you get it. It's in every industry, and there's always that stigma, and there's a lot of stigma for Arri, and the things that are said are just not true. They're not necessarily pro Arri, and I don't think you have to be pro Arri to see that Arri's good, but they're kind of anti everything else, and that's just not true. Everything, I mean, literally every cinema camera that is a high-end, competent cinema camera, I guess that qualifies it there, can make a beautiful image. I mean, there's just nothing to that. But for now, Komodo isn't. I know Komodo. I mean, Red has had with the little bitty guy, the Raven. I mean, they've had some very affordable cameras, but Raven hurt people, not intentionally, but Raven hurt because it was cheap for the body, but then when you add everything on and the media and everything, it got really expensive. When you come with Komodo, I mean, it's a little bit cheaper. It's not miles cheaper, but I mean, it's pretty affordable by today's standards. And I honestly don't know. And Jared, go ahead and put earmuffs on, buddy. I don't know why they haven't raised the price on it. I honestly don't know why. It's got to be the costs have probably gone through the roof. But I mean, it says a lot that they haven't. They probably are tomorrow, but okay, Jared, you can take your earmuffs off. Yeah, Komodo is a damn fine camera. It shoots raw. It doesn't have quite the dynamic range of Little Dragon here, but it definitely doesn't have the dynamic range of the Alexa 35 or the V-Raptor or Monstro. But it's 15 stops, and that's not nothing. And it has global shutter, which is, who else has that? I mean, it's Komodo is fire. It is really cool. Now, there's some things I would change on it. There were some things that I would if I were designing, say, like the next Komodo, I would branch it into two things. I would go with the stripped down version. Kind of Komodo is almost a stripped down version. It probably has some things on there that it doesn't necessarily need, like not a whole lot, but stripped down crash cam so that you stay true to the initial design. And then the second option, call it, I don't know. It is a cinema camera, oddly enough, because it can do cinema things. But I would cater to the market that has taken over. I mean, Komodo has like 3 or 4 different markets that I see. I don't know for a fact, but I mean, you guys tell me if you see otherwise. Komodo has crash cam market. They have cinema camera market where it's a cinema camera. They have social media and or YouTube and or that kind of thing. And then they have like small productions, small production houses, small events. I mean, it just has taken over everywhere because it works. It always works. It's flexible. It's compact. It's light. It's currently installed over there. I'd grab it. Oh, I can grab I can grab this one. This is the last live stream you'll see this one on before the video comes out, because it has to go off to the next location. But I mean, Komodo is it's just tiny. Well, it's tinier if you take the batteries off. It's just a tiny. I mean, I still giggle. I mean, it's funny. My unboxing video is so bad with audio, but I mean, the giggles were real. Hello, everyone. Hello, iEdit. How are you? You doing well up in your world? No, that world. My Komodo made me happy, so happy that I sold my DSMC2 Helium and a ton of accessories. I feel you, Luca, but man, I mean, I'm seeing heliums out there, which is another reason why this may never get sold now, because the pricing just seems to be going crazy. So I may just keep it forever, which is fine. It's just going to take me longer to get into V-Raptor. But the heliums, I saw someone had a helium body for $7,000. And I'm thinking to myself, man, why not just go buy a body and get to 8K now? But I mean, those of you who know that helium is my least favorite sensor, so I'd be kind of shooting myself in the foot there. So butterbeer was not worth. Butterbeer is like butterscotch cold milk. Do you know a 43 millimeter cine small size? I have seen a Komodo, but I could not tell the brand. Huh. 43 millimeter cine? Are you talking about a lens? Are you talking about the Helios? That's a 40, or it's a 58. Or, I don't know. 43. Describe it more, Luca. Wait, I have an iPad Pro 11. Could tell me how you use yours? Yeah, I use mine all the time. Number one, I have probably I have 4 Safari windows. Each one of those probably has 20 tabs at any given moment, and I have them categorized. I have news and information. I have astronomy stuff. I have camera, all production related stuff, and then I have social media. So that's a massive consumption right there of it. But I use Notes. Apple Notes is like my favorite thing because it's everywhere. I have all my ideas. Like when we were talking about the Star Trek short last week, I mean, I just pulled it right up and immediately talked to Reach about it and was able to rattle off all the ideas. I love Notes, but I draw with it. I use what do you call it? I use the name so often that I use, what is it? Not Loop. What is it called? Where is it? Oh, there it is. I Procreate. That's what it is. I use Procreate a lot, and I enjoy just drawing and sketching with that. And then you can use it for everything. I mean, it's pretty useful. And I definitely use mine's the 12.9. And this is the Thunderbolt, and I got the 1 terabyte model, which I would say is not really worth it, but I wanted the 16 gig of RAM, which is probably worth it because, I mean, I use a lot of apps. Can you import Komodo footage into the iPad? No, you cannot. You can't. And I have asked about it, but there's no there's no iOS development kit for R3D, if I remember correctly. Or, now you have me wondering. I don't think so. No, I don't think it. I don't think so. I know I asked, but I also asked about Red City X, and it was like, no, there's no development kit. I can't afford to rig out the Komodo, so I'll probably strap it to the Ronin 2 and call it done. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Ronin 2, man, that's not cheap. Komodo V2 for me, maybe. Two assignable buttons for tools. Okay, I can see that. One record button on the front. Yes, I can see that. Tiltable screen. Um, I don't know. I don't know if I would. I don't know if I would go with that. I would probably put the. I'd probably put these menu buttons here on the side, and make this whole top the screen, and make it much bigger and brighter. But I mean, I know that's not. It's easier said than done. I love the size of this. I don't think I would change the physical size of the. Definitely want a front record button. Definitely. I would like, oddly enough, I'd like HDMI on it, and I think the consumer version, or the the secondary version that I would design would have HDMI. You could still do the 12G SDI, but I could dig that. And then what else? I would probably enjoy going to the smaller cards, the CF Express cards, because they're just smaller, but they are a lot hotter too. Uh, Other than that, I mean, I'd love to see it in 8K, and I'd love to see it do like 8K 24 or 8K 30, and then I'd like to see it do like whatever the Epic W would do, which was I think 34 frames a second, somewhere around there, 30 to 34 frames a second in full resolution, and then be able to scale it up from there. But I mean, there's this is a really affordable camera, and so it's hard to develop a lot of R&D and miniaturizing and all of that when if you want to keep it in the same kind of price area. I mean, you can't keep packing it full. So I mean, the crash camera you could sell, say you have to raise the prices. You sell a crash camera for $6, but you sell the Komodo XL or whatever it was going to be for like $8. I mean, I think that'd be cool. Helium was very power hungry. Interesting. I I didn't shoot with helium a lot, mostly because I didn't like it, but I didn't think that it pulled any more power than any other sensor. I think, if I remember correctly, the DSMC2 pulls either 54 or 60 watts is what it pulls, which is, I mean, it pulls a lot. But I mean, I run with like the 180 batteries, and I mean, you're getting hours upon hours. It's hilarious that I bring like 12 batteries with me everywhere I go, and I never really do the math on that. Going, you don't actually need to bring your charger too. It's not going to be. Yes. Have I had experience with Schneider's lenses? I have. I've talked about these a lot. So the Schneider, there's the Xenars and the Xenons. The Xenars are Super 35, very, very pretty lenses. The Schneider Xenons are full frame. They were my first cinema glass purchase. And I really loved how sharp and beautiful they were, right up until the point where someone says, "Hey, did you notice that chromatic aberration?" And I was like, "No, I hadn't." And then I saw it, and then I could never not see it. So yeah, I mean they're good. If you don't like CA, you won't like the Xenons. The Xenars are cool. I have seen the 43 millimeter lens PL, very small as CVP video. It's black gray with orange marker. Isn't it the one that Peter Choi was showing? That's the rehoused Helios. I thought that was what it was. Wasn't it the one that was used on Batman? Is a master built, I think, or is it? Let's see. Let me find a picture. Hold on one second. No, that can't be it then, because that is a black and yellow. That's not it. That's not the. Is that the one? Because that has the orange on it. If that's it, that's just a rehoused Helios. Let me know if that's it or not. Boop, 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 boop. Ooh, Steve Geralt. I need to get him on. He'd be a good one to have on here. Yeah, I've got Charles Pappert, Ryan Avery. We've got we're going to get Weldon back on. Chris Vandersheef. Basically, all the people at the beginning that we didn't have the format kind of locked down and they didn't get to have free reign to show their own stuff. We're bringing them back so we can have more fun. I think there's a guy in the audience here who will at some point do a live stream. There is I've reached out to a couple of other people about it. We'll see what is said. Are they comparable with the Zine? I would say that the Schneiders are better than Zine. I don't like the Zine lenses. And I will say that with a grain of salt in that I've seen Weldon, I've seen Hurlbut use Zine lenses and they look great. But to me, the Zine lenses are quite green and quite not great. And maybe it's just I suck. It could be, but I'm not a fan of Zines at all. I think the realistically best choice for me is the Sony FX6 for my YouTube videos. It is really, really hard to fault an FX6. When I feel something on my leg, I always think it's a wasp. The FX6 has got everything. It is a fantastic little camera. And I bet Film Tools might even have some in stock if you want to go over there and get some. It is, it's everything that the A7S III, the FX3 is, plus you get the ND, you get a little better package. It's a killer rig. And I can't wait for when an FX6 II comes out. It will be something special for sure. I love the fast response on Komodo's menu. The fact that I can use iPhone 13 and a Hasselblad waist finder. Yep. Very light up. Very light setup. If I need to run a gun, the helium I had to carry more. Yeah, the helium, there's no comparison as to who the clear winner there is. My problem with Komodo is that I have to, if I'm using that little screen, I have to. Otherwise, I have to put like the OC or the port keys or a big monitor or a DVF on the side. And I do like how the V-Raptor is smaller than DSMC2 and it's lighter. But when you rig it all out, it's not a whole lot lighter. I think it's ultimately 2 pounds lighter than DSMC. I think basically if you take a rigged out V-Raptor, you just take a Komodo and you put it on it, then you have the weight of of DSMC2. Yeah, the Komodo is pretty snappy on its menu system. And you know, it's kind of funny too, because I actually have a love-hate with it. Mostly because I am so used to the red menu system now. I mean, it is so easy for me to do anything on a DSMC2 or even the DSMC1. I'm just so used to it now, I kind of miss it. I go here and I'm like, oh, I got to go where? I got to go, oh, yeah, go down to communication. Okay, good. Do that kind of thing. And here I just boop, 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 boop. It's slow and it's sluggish, but it is, I really enjoyed it. I prefer Vespid primes to the Zine. 1.5 on Zine are soft and could be cool, but very inconsistent between the set. Yep. And I'm going to be testing a lot more lenses here soon. And maybe we'll see if I can eat my shorts on some of these. A couple people had reached out and said, bro, you're wrong. You're wrong on those DZO zooms. I'm like, I don't think I am. And they're like, bruh, you're wrong. So I'm going to find out. I have to set my OCD and ego about color and highlights roll off aside and just get FX6 instead of Arri. Maybe get good at film with FX6. And if I'm blessed one day with the Arri, FX6 has a weird tint. I don't really notice that. I tend to like the image out of that sensor. That's the same sensor that's in this one right here. I mean, it's going to have a different tint because it's lit differently than this one. I don't know having a tint. That's I don't know. What tint are you referring to? What do you see that I don't see? And tint can be adjusted. I don't know why I'm stopping up either. That's weird. Why am I stopping up? Must be allergies blowing it or something. Or maybe it's my brain going, God, Scott, you just never stop talking. You just keep on. It's true, I don't. My wife will agree to that. Let's see. What can we chat about? I mean, I would love to show. So let's see. We can talk about some stuff. I can't show these. Not because I'm not allowed to, but because I literally can't. Because they're in use. But I'll take these. Evil wasps. Evil wasps. Yeah, I can't. Man, sorry about the sniffles. And they're not really sniffles either. They're clogged brain. Send it to films@imaginationx.com. Films, plural, imaginationx.com. And I will look at that picture and we'll see. So, Kessler Shuttle Dolly. These are the wheels that they have had on there forever. And they're very hard. They're very, very, very hard. Let's, there we go. Whee! And they're hard because on, say, the Dana Dolly, when you put a lot of weight on a Dana Dolly, the wheels are very soft, and they're soft because when you use on speed rail that's at the rental house where it's been beat up, it's been used on everything under the sun. You want that softness to absorb the bumps. Well, and when Kessler designed theirs, they also designed their speed rail that's specific to the shuttle dolly. It's speed rail, but they designed it to work really well with this. And so these hard wheels give you that super smooth action And if you put a lot of weight on them, they won't go flat, which is what happens with the data dolly wheels being so soft that if you put like 50, 70 pounds on there and you come back 30 minutes later, like you go to lunch and you roll the wheels, you're going to go ka-tuk, tuk, 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 ka-tuk, tuk, 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 tuk. It makes that exact noise. I mean, just exactly that noise. But they didn't want the flat spots, so they created the harder wheels and they created the track for it as well. That was designed to go with it. But people requested, hey, we would like to use wheels on the really crappy speed rail. So Kessler. I'm keeping my eye out. I'm watching for yeah, I hear the sound because they always hit the ceiling. So they did a bunch of testing. I mean, a bunch of testing on various wheels. And they found a new way to build and a new compound. And their wheels, these new ones, sorry, I forget what he's calling them. Prothane or something like that. I call them super smooth. Super smooth. He doesn't like it when I call him that. He's like, if you say that, doesn't it sound like the other ones aren't smooth? I'm like, well, I mean, it kind of does, but there's nothing wrong with the other ones if you use the smooth rail, which is why I always carry emery cloth with me. Scrub down those speed rails. But the new wheels they're over there, and they're literally on my rig right now, and they've had that entire, which I don't have a picture of, that entire rig with, it's easily 100 pounds sitting on the wheels the entire time, and there's no flat spots, and they're really smooth. I mean, really, you actually touch them and you're like, wait, are these pillows? It defies, I guess, their sense of touch because they're hard, but they're soft. So you just, it's weird. But if you are a shuttle dolly user and you use crappy speed rail all the time, look into the new wheel sets. They're pretty affordable. They're not that bad. But definitely, I'll do a review on them soon because I was a little skeptical as to how could you get it close and not get flat spots. And I don't know what this material is, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Did you send it, Luca? Hey, look, I'm live. Let's see here. Email sent. Okay. I will wait for it here. Let's see here. What did everybody do this week? Did you get anything done? I I edited a lot. I went through more footage and did more. I'm going to put this, keep from smashing it. It's going to roll off because the bearings are so smooth. It's just going to roll right off the edge and right on my foot or onto the dog. There we go. Luca, here we go. Downloading with that wonderful StarLink. What is that? Huh. I don't know what that is. Let's That is the lens in question that Luca is asking about. I don't. Is that Artisan? Is that what is it? I don't recognize that lens. That's on what I don't know that. Let's find this out. Let's see here. I'm going to use my Super Google Powers 43 millimeter rehoused cinema lens. And there it is. No. I enjoy this game. That's not it. No, 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 no. I don't see it. Everybody say it down there. Yeah, Phil. Phil, are you around? What is that? That's funny because I saw, I'm looking for I'm also looking for what the new GDU lens is. He teased that the other day. Old fast glass. What is that? 43 millimeter. And it's definitely a rehouse. I mean, who makes a 43? What is this? I want it to be 43. That's gonna be the oh wait, what is this? Was it Duclos? Is it a Duclos 43? Dullens. Wait, 58. So so Dullens has a 43? Let me look though. That let me see. That's a weird font though. That's a weird font. That's not that one. It's not a Dullens. I don't know what that is. It's a T24. T24. I'll find this thing. I'm going to find it. Good. What? Okay. No, that's not it. What is that? No. 43 T2.4. Well, where did you get the image from? I mean, that's how we can start here. What is that? What? Minicon? Let's see here. 43. Really? That does not look like that. Yeah, I don't know. Pentax makes a T2.4. He's got a smiley face on there, so it's rehoused. Let's just put a Pentax in here. I love Google. They're like, would you like to see some ads based upon this? CVP released a video on YouTube today, C50 versus Komodo versus FX6. How did that do? I didn't watch that. How did they come out? I mean, those are all, the C50, I'm very interested. Oh, C70, okay. Now, the FX6 is full frame, so that's not quite comparison, but they're all going to be really close in dynamic range. Low light, both the Sony, no, the Sony will best both of those on low light, but I don't know the C70 versus I don't know. That could be interesting. That could be okay. I'm gonna find this thing. I'm gonna find it. It is going to be done. Pre-order Dullens. Dullens. Well, let me just look that up. Dullens. Let me spell it. Dullens. Every time I bring this up, the first ad, this is not even Jared marketing. This is Adorama. But first thing that comes up every time I search for these lenses, GDU. Funny. Oh, what is this? This has got to be it. Yeah, okay. There you go. It is a Dullens APO Mini Prime. That is it right there. 43 millimeters, T2.4, has the ring on it. Uh, it is a pre-order only, looks like. Let me see here. Let me choose the, yep. There's your strange font. There we go. My Google powers and your clues, we have a winner. Are you leaving, Lewis? Okay. Well, thanks for stopping by, Lewis. Now wow, it's only €9.99. A T24. What is that? Interesting. I mean, it looks pretty cool. What is the image circle on this? It'll even cover the Alexa 65. Okay. And there's a set of these. So there's a 31, 43, 58, and 85. Okay, I'm interested. I'm actually interested. That is number one, is really close to my likable focal lengths. I like my 40 and my 65. This is 43 and 58. But I mean, honestly, it's a really nice wide range, 31, 43, 58, 85. I mean, there's a bit of a jump there from 58 to 85, but I mean, that's a pretty more usable range. They're really cheap too. Really cheap. I wonder what they are. I've been hurt before. There's been several lenses over the years that were promised to be amazing things, and then when you look under the hood, they're like, I've seen that before. Dolan's, oh, you could get an EF kit for it. Oh my. Man, these might be really good. How much is that though? How much is €9.99? Is really all we do on the live stream. We just, we just look up stuff on Google. Oh, wow. That's the first time I've ever seen like the dollar and the euro almost equal. So $1,000 a lens. Interesting. What's interesting most about this to me is the focal lengths. Because they didn't just go, I mean, it's not like they all just use the same, optics plant in China and build out a set of whoever's brand lens using the same, same designs. These are different. These are very different. Very interesting. See, so I was on the right tab with Duclos. Duclos lenses. Duclos, Matt Duclos. Learn more about us. I will. Dolan's. He doesn't have the listing. Interesting. But I saw it. I can't spell it. There we go. Dolan's. Well, they're. That's weird. Dolan's 58. No, 43. Yeah, I could enjoy a 43. I really, really could. Cine D. So interesting. New shooter. Schneider's bringing back a full frame anamorphic. I did not know that one. All right. So, what all would you like to chat about? What other things can I look up? What? I'm just enjoying life on Friday afternoon. I got time to kill. I'm feeling good. I got the wasp. He didn't make it, and that was today. Yesterday and the day before, 2 days without wasps. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing. Rex is all, look at him, he's like he's laying in the sun, but he's not. He's just chillaxing, just Taking it easy. Let's see. What other things can we talk about? I was going to show some Dragon Frame. It was literally one of the things that I was working on, getting working to show on here for anybody who hadn't seen Dragon Frame. But Dragon Frame takes over the ATEM, and there's no way to make it not. So I couldn't get StreamYard and Dragon Frame on the same computer at the same time, and it's all powered off of this. You can't see it, but a little bitty computer right there. The Minis forums. I like those little things. All right, let's see. What can we talk about? I'm actually waiting for a few astronomy. So what camera are you using with Dragon Frame? I'm literally using Komodo for the stuff that I'm using it for, because Dragon Frame does, there goes the nose itch. The Dragon Frame does both stop motion and now live motion on there. So you can program the really intricate moves, and you can access a whole lot, like 20 channels, 20 axis of Kessler stuff. The live motion stuff, I really like shooting with Komodo, mostly because the image is beautiful. It is a tiny little box, and I get 6K out of it. I mean, the A7S and the A7 IV are both beautiful images, but they're shooting at 4K. That I get raw. I get little tiny box. The only thing that's another thing. That's one of the things I would change on the Komodo. The power connector. Maybe it just needs the adapter, or maybe you can just put the power adapter on the side, but I want an angled, low-profile power adapter. Because I tell you what, and the SDI, there needs to be something with SDI or something. Because when I run the on these rigs, I like to be cabled. Mostly because when I'm at clients' places, every producer is on the Wi-Fi and using up all the bandwidth on it. So it's hard to stream unless you bring your own for like Komodo. And then, you get, like when I'm in the kitchen sets, all of the metal that's in there, it's like a Faraday cage. So like using the live streaming on Komodo doesn't always work to the level that I need it to. So I run SDI. You put SDI and you put power on there and you put it on the Franken rig with like the roll axis, then it butts up against the roll axis, but it can't because there's that much that it has to bump into. So I've been thinking about reaching out to Sutton over at Mutiny and say, hey, can you build a low profile angled power and a low profile? Well, he would need to make a low profile 12G SDI extension cable. He makes the good true SDI, true G, I think he calls them. And those are fantastic cables. He made me one. Let me roll over here. He made this one for me, the blue one. It's not quite the blue Komodo, but it's close enough, and it's it's the thought that counts. A company like Mutiny cares enough. They're like, you know what? Let's do one in blue. Let's that kind of stuff. And Mutiny's been dropping a lot of stuff lately. Y'all should go check them out. Where's it? Do I have a Mutiny sticker right here? I don't have a Mutiny sticker. But yeah, mutiny.store. I think it is mutiny.store. Dave says, how are those blank doing these days? Try anything new? I try a lot, and I definitely enjoy them. However, I'm not allowed to talk about those on YouTube anymore. I'm not even allowed to save them or discuss them because that is no longer allowed by YouTube terms of service. So at some point, when Rumble decides that they're not going to charge for live streaming, then I will be doing my adult show or the finer cuts from from Rumble, which people are like, Rumble, really? I'm like, it's the only place you can do that from. All the people that enjoy those things have now had to move over there. I mean, what can you do? Jared says, Mutiny can build those, and Wooden Camera already sells a right angle Komodo power cable. I didn't know that. Let's see, the Wooden Camera. It's funny, too, because every time my Wooden Camera right angle power cable, every time I pick it up and I start around, every time I plug it in, I'm like, oh, why does it have to be so long? And then I answer it myself, because it's got stress relievers in there. You don't want to crimp it. You don't want to cause any problems. I get it. I get it. See, that one is, I don't, yeah, I mean, I guess that's as tight as you can get it. You can't really do one that is much, because that's the hard thing. I have, I do, but it only goes to V mount. Did I just pause? Did I lose my back? I'm back, right? Why is it spinning? Is that going on? Oh, here. I'm still here. So I'm still here. Oh, am I back now? It's weird. Is it paused or is it? I don't. There we go. Oh, okay. I have one of the L the ones, but it goes to a V or to a P tab, which I'm trying to avoid putting weight on the end of the jib there, because every pound I put there, I got to put 2 pounds behind it. And so I like to run constant power, so I don't have to change out anything. Today I asked Mutiny for a record button integrated into a handle, Bolex style. They're working on a similar idea. Let's see. Yeah, all you got to do is ask away, and they'll be like, I know Avery is, he's quite the, hey, look at me. Avery's quite the designer over there. He's got the brain for the designing. So I know Sutton is really, what's the word? Really fortunate to have him, Avery, on his team. I'll still never be able to pronounce his last name, Adabogan, Adabogan, something like that. Avery Adabogan. I literally, guys, the Cinegear videos, I had to introduce Mutiny 4 times because I would pronounce his name right, and then as soon as I introduced Sutton and then went over to Avery, I couldn't pronounce it. Lots of female DTAP plug-in power supplies. Okay, well, I'm going to look then. I'm going to stop whining about it. I'm going to go literally use my Google powers and find a solution. That one is it throws off just my my. and put on my old glide glasses if I'm not going to remember things. Yeah, it throws off my. It's not lined up. Wow. Things are just pathetic today. Can't remember anything. I need some old people pills. Vitamin something or other. Vitamin brain is what I need. Nodal. It's not nodal. That's the term I was looking for. Throws off my nodal config. Rex, are you going to move today? He's like, I'm sleeping. It's funny though. He does look like he's laying in the sun, and that GoPro is so much brighter than it actually is. Like, I was looking, it's like, why is it so? It's barely lit on him, barely lit at all. Let's see, where was I going? Oh, I was. So I've been waiting for like. Now I'm going to have to wait a little while longer because it's so freaking hot. Sorry. So when I first got Komodo, I attached it to the Sigma 152-600, and then I put a 2X on there, and then I stuck it on a star tracker, and then I tracked Saturn and Jupiter, and it's kind of amazing the what I got from it. And so what I showed were literally just a single frame from that, but with all the stacking software, you can run the camera in. You'd run it in like 2K and probably like 60 frames a second, something like that, on here. And the reason being is that it'll track it and then it'll use all of the frames to build the image of Jupiter and Saturn. So I'm really excited because Jupiter and Saturn are now back up in the sky, but it's so freaking hot right now that it doesn't cool off enough to be able to use the telescopes without just like really ugly heat distortions and out of focus issues until like after midnight. And I've been going to bed early, like midnight. Well, 1 o'clock is about what time I go to bed, because I get up every morning at 6:30, and so I've been sad because it's so hot. I really want to do it, but I want to get Komodo on the telescope over there and get some Jupiter and some Saturn, and we're gonna get some cool shots off of that because I was really impressed at how well the dynamic range did on that. Let's see here. Lucas says Dragon Frame not available on my Kessler City Drive. Confirmed. That is correct. City Drive is 8 years old, and I believe at this point it's not likely to get really any additional updates. I think that there are no suppliers that make the parts anymore. I don't know. There's probably a lot to that, but it's 8 years old, and it would be probably very difficult to even port that over to it. But you can go get a second shooter, and you can adapt. Let's see. Can you adapt? I don't know if you can adapt to those. Yeah. It would probably be best for you, Luca. Sell the City Drive and pick up a City shooter, because that's the future, and it's worth it. Yep. Art. Hello, Art. How are you? Just tuned in. Somebody has to ask. Have you tracked Uranus or Uranus? You know, it's funny because you can pronounce it either way and you're going to get a giggle. Oh, you said Uranus? Or Uranus? You said urine? I have not, but I actually will. But even the Komodo at 6K, it's not going to get me much of an image of Uranus. It's it's going to be, man, I'm trying to come up with some jokes. I can't do it. I'm circling the drain on that one. Yeah, I know you were being jokey, but I'm being serious. I have the DCC. The DCC works with Cine Shooter now, so that's good. You can use that. There is a video soon on that, be coming up very soon on that very use, and the DCC got some updates. So the DCC, you can now map the aux dial to an axis, so you can perform with 4 axes live. It's pretty slick. I'm literally finishing up that video right now. But that's not a new release, so I can talk about that all I want. But yeah, the DCC is it's one of those, when they first came out with it, I was like, I don't know that I have a need for it. But after using it now, oh, I definitely have a need. And then Mr. Land down there with his fabulous Mr. Foxes on the stumps, he inspired me to completely change how to do the wildlife video remotely. And yeah, I mean, everything is cool with when you can do things remotely with wildlife. And DCC is a great way to do all of that. Art says, I'm kidding. Yes, I know. Does new gear stimulate creative ideas, or do you see new gear and come up with new creative ways to use equipment? Great question, Art. And to be honest, if there was an absolute answer for that, you would win how to create a new product. It's literally it. Does new gear stimulate creative ideas, or do you see new gear coming up? So new gear does stimulate creative ideas, yes, in multiple ways. Number one, excitement. When you get excited about new gear, magically, all of a sudden, you're excited about, I'm going to keep talking about this 1 second. I'll be right back. New gear excites your brain. You excite your brain. You get creative. You start coming up with cool ideas. That is how new gear can certainly stimulate creativity. Also, when you kick your foot into something and it hurts, when you get new gear that does new things, then your creativity spans, and you want to try to use that new product that you bought, and that enhances your creativity. Second part, or do you see new gear and come up with new creative ways to use equipment? Yes, as well. So I see lots of stuff that I see other things, and I see what they do with them, and then I try to figure out how can I do that for less, like cinema robots. One day I will own a motorized precision robot. One day it's going to happen. It's in my destiny of the future, but it's probably not anytime soon. So in the meantime, how do I do the things that motorized precision can do for the most part? I'm not gonna get the speed of it. I build Frankenrigs, and so Frankenrig is me seeing new gear and coming up with new creative ways to use the equipment that I already have to pull off the very things that motorized precision does. The hello, Ari. The yeah, I want to come play, Ari. I want to come play with your robot. We need to have a play date. I want to come play. So it's interesting because most people do not realize the power, and when I say most people, I mean me too, because I don't realize. Oh, Rex is gone, so we're going full screen then. The dog's going to leave. I'm going to go back to that. Most people don't realize the power of what they actually have. For instance, with when I did the MKBHD's robot shot, recreating that with the Mac Studio, you could do that without having to have a 6-axis robot. You didn't need that. And so it's about coming up with creative ways to make that happen. And that's fun. That's stimulating, and it gets ideas flowing. And it's interesting with the flip side of that as to the things that you don't really realize that you don't need. And that's the, it's a parabola. It's when you look at I hope that's a parabola. Technically, I think it is the other way. When you add axis to a motion control rig, at some point you're going to double up an ability, and you don't do it on purpose. You do it because you're also not doubling it up. And when I was shooting the Kessler Roll music video, finding ways to shoot with that additional axis of a roll is intriguing, because you'll do a shot and then you could actually study it for a minute and realize you could totally have done that shot without the roll axis because you weren't using the other axis. So it's tough to find those things and be creative with it. Now, it's interesting. I added the axis here on the front of. I added the slide axis onto the front of Frankenrig 2.1, and because of the way it is, I mean, it's not designed to do what it's doing. There's some tilt that occurs when the head goes all the way out to the edges. It'll tilt down a little bit. It's probably 6% or 6 degrees, 5 or 6 degrees. But the cool thing is, I can use the roll axis to actually counteract that. So when it goes down and it would start to angle, I could just fix that. And you're like, oh no, but it went downhill. No, you just boom up a little bit. So you could actually arc everything. That's the stuff that I've been playing with the last couple of days, is figuring out what I can do, what I can't do, and coming up with solutions. You know, it's interesting. What's this guy's name? Fielding, Jeremy Fielding, I think it is, on YouTube. Let me verify his name real quick. Jeremy Fielding, yeah. So Jeremy Fielding is a really, really smart guy down. I guess he's in Alabama. He's near wherever the Everyday Smarter guy is, or Smarter Everyday guy is. But he's like an engineer, and he built his own robot himself, completely from the ground up. He didn't use, a KUKA robot. He built it all, 3D printed parts and everything. And he finally got it working. But he talks about the singularity in 6-axis robots. And it's an interesting thing because it demonstrates that parabola where I'm talking about, where there's, every time you add an axis, you're only gaining a small amount of ability over your previous. So you add a little bit, a little bit, a little bit, a little bit. So singularity in a robot is when, say, you're pointed straight out and this rotates this way and your wrist rotates. So you can actually rotate, let's see if I can hold it. So you can actually rotate your wrist and keep it still and your shoulder, but it's moving. So what happens is in a programmed robotic move, it doesn't know, do I move this or do I move this? It's that redundancy that occurs a lot with multiple axis. Went down a long diatribe there. So what is DCC? This is DCC. This is the Digital Control Center, and it's right here. It's from Kessie. It is a simple box with joystick, twists. It's got buttons. You got aux. You can control everything. You can record moves with it. You can play back moves. You can perform live with it. It's a very versatile box. It's pretty slick. It's one that I didn't know that I was going to use until I started using it. What they originally created it for was to literally put at the bottom of the Pocket Gym Pro when you have, like Luca has, where you have the Cine drive, and then you can control the jib, the head up there with your jib, and be able to use all the motion control stuff that you have. But now they've got new firmware, so it works with Cine Shooter. You can map the aux. I mean, it's kind of cool. There's a lot of cool stuff. And then Ari's like, do I smell robot talk? Yes, you do. I like robots. I like me some robots. Yes, please. Yes, let's meet up, Ari. We need to do that someday soon, and let's meet indoors where it's air conditioned. Art says, in the 3D space, your mind works better than mine, but I'm getting there. Mine does not work as well as you think it does. What mine has right now, and so like, there are physical people and there are virtual people. Programmers are virtual people. Physical people are hardware engineers. That's what I am. I'm not an engineer, but I think like a hardware person. Virtual people can assemble everything in their brain, how things should go together in code and type in lines of this and that, and you get that. Physical people can do the same thing with physical parts. And I mean, I can look at something and go, well, I can use this part, this part, this part, this part. I can do that really well, but I can't virtually do like that. So in 3D space, that is literally the virtual side of it. So my brain is the wrong word, but my brain is handicapped to the physical side, not the virtual side. So when I'm testing the limits of all these configs that I build all the time, you've seen tens. You've seen tens of configs that I posted where I start add this piece to this piece and this piece, and let's see what I can do with it. What I'm doing is I'm adding memories to my brain. I'm adding a catalog of moves that I know that I can do so that I can use them as a basis for the future. Some people can just see something and they go, oh, 3D space, the robot can just do, and they don't care. I can't do that. So I have to plan. So I play with these. I set up a bunch of different things. I make it do things. And then I literally will program it to move all 8 axes at the same time. And then I go in and find, what can I use that for? How, if I did that, what would the product be, or what would the move be that does that? Once I get a cool shot, now I've kind of mapped out Elon Musk is backing out of the deal with Twitter. Yeah, I bet he is after getting the user data. Yeah, finding out that it isn't real. Yeah, that's probably not going to go well for either one of them. But yeah, I mean, it's finding shots, cataloging them, and then later on in life when I come up against something that someone says, well, I'd like to be able to do this. I'm like, okay, I can take this shot and this shot, add them together, and I get that. And that's what I do it. That's how I do it. I see gear like Raptor, and immediately we knew how we would implement it in our food shots. Yeah, because Raptor's Freaking cool. We are now looking at the Paraprobe combined with the Kessler and see the doors that will open. Yeah, I'm really interested in the Paraprobe too. I'm really sad that they couldn't adapt the old one. That to me that stinks. I get it. I'm not going to hold it against them, but it stinks. And because now there's a whole bunch of probes out there that are just always going to be probes, and it's fine. I do like putting the little dental mirror on the bottom though, because it does work. Yeah, Raptor is slick and tiny, and I didn't even get to play with 1,000 frames a second. That's got to be fun. Yeah, I love food shoots. It's art. It's become one of my absolute favorite things, shooting food, because A, it's delicious. There's always extra food, but it's just neat how much effort people will put into making food look delicious. And, I mean, that's the whole purpose, is to make it look delicious. And I love that stuff. I eat that up. Pun intended. Ari says, ha ha ha, nice. I'm gonna assume, Ari, you're actually saying that for my pun, but no, you're talking about the. Yeah, he just built V2 and posed. Yeah, so Ari, you obviously follow Fielding. He's a cool dude. I really like that guy, and I did not know that he was next to and friends with the Smarter Everyday guy until I saw him on one of Smarter Everyday's videos. I'm like, oh, okay. I just like that guy. I love the way his brain works, and I love his teaching style because simple's not the word, but he dumbs it down really, really well and gets it into people's brains. I love it. We watched the same video. Yeah, I mean, that's what I do, Ari. I learn something and I share it. That's what I do. DCC versus Smart Handle. Never mind. Live functions versus prefab. So Smart Handle, all Smart Handle does is it allows you to deactivate access on the Cine Shooter, so you can manipulate it and move it how you want by hand. And then this is basically half of a PlayStation controller, so you can do the live move that kind of way, but you can also record moves in this, and it's not just record keyframes. So if you have a move that you're like, wow, that's going to be really complicated to do with keyframes, but I can shoot it. I can do it. So you get on here and you map out your slide. You map out, this is a limited, by the way, you can beat the heck out of it. You map out your slide to the left and right. You've got joystick button, you've got pan and tilt, and then your aux you can do your focus on. And that's literally how I have it set up. And so you can do your slide, you can pull your focus and pan and tilt. So you can do all this stuff and you know exactly what you want to do. You can physically record it on this and it will record it into memory, and then you can perform it back. And it will repeat it over and over again. You can do that. There's three memories in here. It actually uses a lot of data, figuratively speaking. It's kind of funny. Ari says, just let me know. I will, dude. I will. Art says, can you get a robot for 125K? You can get a robot for 22 to 35,000, I think, is about what the used ones are going for. Some people occasionally will find one for like 12 grand. I know, Ari, you found one fairly cheap. Now they're probably going to have some repair issues, and it's not the robot that is the part that we struggle with. You can have a robot. It's interfacing our brains with the way we see and the way we shoot cameras, getting that into a robot. That's the struggle. That's where the expensive part comes from. So it's the interface from that. And, Motorized Precision's new, that iPad that I demoed on this from City Gear. Oh man, is that a game changer? I won't. I don't have $50 right now, but I will be buying that app just to play with it in the future because it's so cool. And if they ever sell that as a platform like software, which they probably won't, but if they ever did, they're going to sell a ton of it. You can get a modern model for the 20 to 35 range. Right, right. It's all the software. Indeed, sir. Indeed. Motorized Precision's Mia robot is about 125. Yeah, we were just talking about, let's talk about with a friend about the robots and how they're all going up in price, but they're all going up in capabilities and size. And the, so I got distracted by Simon. And that you don't really ever see robots for sale that much, like a motorized precision robot or anything. Because really what happens is when you upgrade to a new robot, you keep the old one because it still can do a whole lot of stuff and you can use it with your new one. So you end up with a whole battalion of robots. Let's see here. That's just a small reach and a light load. It is. It's still fast. And Mia is still, Mia can throw around Komodo all day long. It's a small reach, but sometimes all you need is the small reach. So Simon wants to know what happened to Balkan Blue Komodo. It's right over there. It's on Frankenrig 2.1, which if I could turn back time, I wonder if I could do that. Could I? Will this work? Oh, God, you know it's going to happen. I know it's going to happen. I know what's going to happen. I'm going to turn this upside down, and the magnets are going to fail. Oh, what happened? What did I just do? What happened? Oh, what was I on? I hit a button. That's what I... All right, let me see if I can... There we go. Okay. All right, there you go. There's my live cam. It's my iPad upside... Oops, sorry, got a little lens flare going on there. See, there's my blue Komodo. See, there's the new wheels from Kessler. See how cool they are? They're gray, too. They're really soft. But there's blue. It's right there. It's all safe and sound. Actually, I'm considering that a she because it's too damn sexy to be a he. Although, I mean, there's some sexy guys out there. I'll give you that. Aquaman. Okay, let's see here. Ari says MP's Mia Raw is just a Kuka Kara 10. Can be had used for 30. Yep. You texted me while streaming. Yeah, it's about a 12-second delay. Let's see here. Mia has a 3. Yeah, about 3.5 inches. So great for. Yeah, it's great for that, for sure. And I mean, for food stuff, you rarely need. You rarely need the speed unless you're doing like flying things, you're launching stuff, which I'm still working on. But now that Dragon Frame is here, I can launch stuff. You don't really need speed that much for food stuff. So it's usually speed ramping. So you cruise up on the burger, you pull around over here, but you can just do that with a speed ramp. There's no reason that this has to be done in an instant. It can be moved very slowly in speed ramp because you're not dealing with a person. Now, if you got the person, that'd be a pretty cool shot. Okay, whoever has a robot needs to do this shot. This will sell a hamburger. I don't remember what it was, but there was like stork in it, and the stork would look at something, and you would see the stork go, huh, 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 what, huh, huh, what, huh. That's your shot. So person picks up a big goopy cheeseburger, just like stuff dripping off everywhere. Now I want a cheeseburger, by the way. Puts it up to his face, and then as he or she or whoever is taking a bite, the robot's going. Now that is a good use of high speed, and it will sell cheeseburgers. That's when you need speed. Was when an actual person. That's when you would need it. Otherwise, food shoots you can move around, and that's why I get hired a lot, is because I can do what they need because they don't need the speed. I got a fever for. Also, has anybody watched the Terminal List yet? Oh, so good, so good. It is. It's like the #1 streaming show now, and it's funny too. It's another one of those where the critics completely slammed it, said it was garbage, gave it like a 35 on Rotten Tomatoes, but every person who's watched it loves it. It's the user reviews are like a 96 percentile. It's fantastic. I love it. And I am starting to watch For All Mankind now. So I tried watching it when it first came out, way too slow, but people are really talking about season 3 and how cool it is. So we're watching that now. So tonight I'll be stuffing my face with pizza because wifey's going by getting pizza, which because she's getting pizza and she has to buy chlorine for the pool, she'll be later. So I get to stream extra long. I might even go get me one of those things that I'm not supposed to have. Normal people distracted by noise, artists distracted by silence. You're not wrong, Tariq. You're really not wrong on that one. I'm going to do my burger shoot next week. Call me. Let's. I mean, would that not work? Would that shoot not work to sell a cheeseburger? Terminal List was horrible, and then it was so dark. It was it was definitely dark. For me, it was just a long audiobook. Well, okay, fair enough. It was dark, but I watch it in the dark, so it works out really well. Got to go. See you, Ari. Love you, bro. Let's see here. The UHD grade on a 4K OLED was off. Thousands of complaints online about this. I don't get to watch it in 4D. I can find 4D. I don't get to watch it in 4K because my projector is only 2K. And up until StarLink, I never had the ability to stream 4K. I'm really excited that I can do that now. So right now I am looking at, I'm literally looking at, as soon as I get my invoices paid, I'm looking at a 75-inch TV, 4K, that I want to use for small virtual production. I'm going to figure out how to make it work in the small way. I know several people have done it. Sorry. Then I don't know if y'all saw the picture of my green curtain, which I have no idea why I never thought about doing this before. There it is. Let me send it over here. Send it to there. I should just, if Apple didn't cost so much for the amount of data that I use, I would tell you, because I dislike paying monthly subscriptions. So the green screen on a track. That's just a simple curtain track. It's flexible. It comes in a tube, or comes in a roll, and then you just put it up there and you screw it in, and then it's cheap as all get out. It's like $43, and they're plastic rollers. But if it doesn't work perfectly and smoothly, and now I can do wrap around that, and now I've determined that I'm going to extend that one with another one to come down the side down here and come back behind me, so that there was some shoots that I wanted to do where with the multiple me's back here. It's a pain in the ass by myself with the screen pop, because I got to mount it, then I got to move it, then I got to mount it and move it, and I can just do the green screen over there. Why in the world didn't I do this? So now I'm going to have a blue screen and a green screen on there, and we're going to make some cool stuff now. That was all to be saying that I was going to be getting a 75-inch 4K TV. So I'll get to see what all the hubbub is here. I've seen it elsewhere. It looks great. Aiden, hello. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Nick, I just picked up a new camera cage for the Red V-Raptor. I got the red kit and the bright tangerine kit to compare the two. I landed on the bright tangerine because of its versatility. That's cool. The bright tangerine design, it's one of those you have to think about a couple of times before it clicks, because it does things that others don't, but then it doesn't do things that others do. So it's always that balance. That sliding handle on the top is pretty nice for altering your center of gravity. It's pretty nice. But if you just buy the big rail, then you don't have to deal with it. But that's cool. I'm sure Bright Tangerine loves that. And I mean, I guarantee if you're going to sell the red kit, someone will buy the red kit because they're so hard to get a hold of. Justin says, how can you pull tension on that curtain? Your post is going to look horrible. So, Justin, I don't have a problem pulling keys. The keying algorithms and software today are so good that I don't have a problem. You should see some of the garbage stuff that I pulled keys from. That's quite interesting. But to answer your question, you can pull tension on it. Sorry. The way to do it is with clamps up on the top. So you go up there and put a clamp, and then it'll stop the track from moving. So now you can get above tension. And so at the bottom, you hang big A-frame clamps on there, and then I don't have one, but the little A-frame clamps, hang those like 6 inches from the bottom on the edge, and it'll pull it taut. There won't be any wrinkles on that because it is just going to be wavy in the corner. It's not folded up. It's now permanently installed back in the back corner. Let me use my new virtual camera. See if I can. Oh, maybe not. Yeah. Okay. Well, kinda. You can see it back there in the back. It's all the way in the corner, but it's just. I mean, it just goes away, and it. Did I lose it again? There we go. StarLink doing his little cuts. Yeah, it's not been a problem. The only one I've had problems on is when you cheap out and you buy a cheap Amazon green screen suit, and it's so pale and green that it doesn't actually key very well. Just got a City Shooter macro and absolutely love it. Thank you. And your Frankenrig is impressive. Well, if you think Frankenrig 2.0 is impressive, you should see Frankenrig 2.1 is right there. And it is even awesomer. It's impressiver. It is mostest impressiver. I honestly can't wait to hook up all of these controllers and do the 20-axis move I'm going to do. It's just, sorry, it's hard coming up with, you think it's hard to do 6-axis, and then you got 8-axis. It's hard to come up with 20-axis, but I've got it. And I don't mind sharing it because I'm sure I'm not the first person who's ever come up with this. And if anybody wants to replicate it, cool. I'm going to use their idea and then work from that. But you can move the camera around, but you can also move the set. You can move the lights. you can move everything all in a delicate ballet of motion control goodness. And that's what's going to happen. You know, you got spotlights, hooray for Hollywood. You know, you got to get kind of thing. Yeah, yeah, all of that's going to happen when I do the 20 axis, which is going to be a little while. That's probably going to be August project. But Christian? Oh, that's literally pronounced how it's spelled. That's cool. Cool. Where are you from? Where are you? What do you like to shoot? Love the cine shooter. The macro is super slick, and we're gonna have a live stream with Christopher Fields. It won't be on a Friday, I don't think, but we're gonna have it. We're gonna have Eric Kessler on there and talk about the macro stuff that Chris Fields has done, because that dude, yeah, he can rock some dragon frame, and that macro, it was basically I guess a constant tapping on Eric's shoulder from me and Chris, and we got a macro. And then there's probably others too. On the 75-inch TV, get the LG OLED. I want that, but that's not going to be cheap. You can tweak it and make it a high-end client-grade reference monitor. You could, but my small production out here, I don't typically have clients out here. I'm usually going elsewhere for that if they're going to be on site. But yeah, I mean, I feel you. The LG OLED C2, but they now have, yeah, the C2. Yeah. So I don't know, is the C2 as good as, I know it's supposed to be better than the C1, but the 55-inch OLED C1 is the like standard for, I don't want to buy an actual production monitor, but I want one that looks like one. That's the one that Mark Weilage always says to get. And I think he has that very same one hanging in his, he does, in his studio, in his color suite. And so I don't know if the C2 is good. I don't know what they changed. You have to wonder sometimes when they change stuff. Good idea on the clamps. And yes, green screen pulls are much easier. Yeah, they are. They're definitely far. I mean, I remember back in like 2002 or 3. This is back on like the Canon XL1 days with that wonderful color space in there. Nothing like, you know, what's her name sings about the jagged little pill, and we all think about, you know, mini DVs, jagged little frames. You pull a green screen from that, and it looks so bad. And then, who was it who came out with Ultimatte? The keying software, is it Canopus came up with that? Ultimatte? I'm trying to remember who came up with Ultimatte. It actually got bought, and it was installed into After Effects. It was bought by Adobe. But Ultimatte, back then, I was like, oh, finally, there's a piece of software that will pull a key from Mini DV. Whew. If you spray some water when it's dry, it will make no wrinkles. Interesting. I have a little steamer, a little pocket steamer that I usually use for that kind of stuff. And I was just going to use that. I was going to see how long it takes or if it can do a lot of it itself. Because I mean that what you saw in that picture, which looked horrible, it literally just came out of a bin over here, all piled up. So it was definitely wrinkled. LOI by client monitor, you mean grade with it? Yeah, you want to see C2 because of the upgraded boards in it. What is it? Tell me more. I'm interested because I have not been able to find any information on it. Nick says, are you planning to pick up a V-Raptor? Yes. Without question, absolutely. But it's going to be the V-Raptor Super 35. And I don't know when that one is actually going to come, if it's going to be XL Super 35 or V-Raptor Super 35 first. My hunch, and I'm often wrong on this, as usually when I'm wrong, then Jared will do a little quick drive by and go, because that means I'm wrong. But I suspect that XL Super 35 will be the one that he has to build first. Well, has to, but chooses to build, because whatever everybody wants first, they don't have the resources, I guess, with all the supply chain to build both V-Raptor Super 35 and XL Super 35, as I understand it. So if more people want one over the other, then that's the one they're going to come out with first. It's probably in my favor for it to be the XL first, because then I can afford it longer. Ultimate on After Effects for keying on a QuickTime video that you did half size and then doubled it for playback and Macromedia Director. Project basically paid for my first 2 houses. Yes, exactly. Who was it who made Ultimate? Who was that? Because they made, weren't they the people that did the audio libraries? Because I bought all of their freaking libraries too. Wasn't it them? It's so funny. So there was a music libraries that you could buy back before there was rental or service-based, online-based audio music that you could download. Sorry, getting lost in everything. There were these audio packs that would come with a whole bunch of CDs or DVDs, I think is the case, and these that had a bunch of royalty-free music that you could use. And I had all of those because that's what I used for all my clients. And they were pretty cheesy for music compared to today's really good stuff. But it was, I forget who it was. You're thinking of Digital Juice? Oops, music libraries. I have them in my basement and cannot remember. I have them on my network because I don't even keep the discs anymore. I don't remember the name of them. Let me just go to B&H. I'm going to look them up. Were they Digital Juice before Digital Juice became like really like just like offering the standard Chinese stuff? Let me see here. My orders. Let's see here. Luca says, why you go for the Super 35 Raptor? It's a good question, Luca. And it's a, oops, I'm going to put my face up there. And it's a reasonable question because I was all set on going to the full frame. Not because I truly wanted it. I mean, I wanted it, but I didn't. The main reason I didn't want it was because I would have to buy all new lenses. And that was going to destroy my budget for getting into the V-Raptor. And when Super 35 was announced, then I don't have to get rid of all my favorite lenses. I can keep them. Let's see. I need to, was it music? So it's a trade-off because I am going to lose some of that low light amazingness that V-Raptor full frame has. And that is going to sting a little bit. It is going to sting. But I think in the long run, I think it's going to be, I don't know. It goes back and forth. 75% sure that Super 35 is the right answer. I'm fairly certain on it, but man, is it Digital Juice royalty? It's got to be Digital Juice. I know they don't make them anymore. Was it? Man, I have them. I need to know what they are. Digital Juice. Oops. I'm in the basement. Cannot remember the name. Yeah, I mean, it was funny is that I put up some videos that I had done with them on YouTube, and they flagged them. And I'm like, bro, it says I can use them on any platform, any everything. And they're like, well, but we didn't mean streaming. I'm like, you said any platform. Any platform. And so I won. And then I took those videos down because they actually suck. Hey, I still made the live stream. Yay, Brandon. Howdy, Scott. Hope things are good for you. Random question of the day. Remember Jenny Riggs? I do remember Jenny Riggs. I do. If you want to go way back, I can. Oh, I got rid of it. I got some old stuff that goes way back. The C1 plumps for a standard OLED, while the C2 boasts brighter OLED Evo. See, now, Justin, I was reading the specs on it, and I know the specs don't always tell the truth, and there was no higher indication of brightness at all. Huh. Luca and pro tip, go for the Super 35. Area Alexa, I don't know. I think you're going to see some rather interesting results when the Super 35 Red XL V-Raptor Super 35 XL. My God, that's going to be a mouthful. Versus the Alexa 35. I think you're going to be a little surprised at what people say, because they're not comparing them right now. Very few have done it, but when you compare, there's going to be some interesting results, and I don't think it's going to go the way people think. Now, again, the Alexa 35 is not a sucky camera. It's a fantastic camera. I'm just saying that there's some other cameras out there, Red's Super 35, which I've seen. I've seen it in person for about that long. It's going to be a fun show. It's going to be a fun one. Megatrax. I remember Megatrax, but you paid for the Megatrax was the one we used at ABC. And yeah, those were far better quality. But yeah, you had to pay a lot for those too. You paid $335 a needle drop, I think, for those, and you had to buy the library, which was 1,800 songs or something like that. $100,000 best renting. Yep. Let's talk about old gear. It's more fun. Who remembers the Sticky Pod? Does anybody remember Sticky Pod? It was the original suction cup car mount that was affordable-ish. I have one around here somewhere, but it's funny. The suction cups are not quite soft anymore. Sticky Pod. Let's see if it says. B&H always had what? It's gone. The Sticky Pod. I had the Sticky Pod Pro. Was it? Mine was the four. Mine was the four cup. Where is it? Wow, the internet doesn't even remember. See, there's the B&H did have it. Oh, they call it Sticky Pod with a space. Fine. So just search that on. Yeah, B&H has it. Well, there's my Sticky Pod on B&H. Hilarious. Yeah, I'll talk about old gear all day long. I'm waiting for the Area Alexa 35 to Venice 8K comparisons. Yeah? Look for an Alexa 35, Venice 8K, and V-Raptor shootout. And my guess is you probably won't get to see one. It's probably not likely to show up, and it should, because I think you're going to find out that what an amazing time to be a filmmaker. Nick says, one advantage to the Super 35 is that it will likely have higher frame rates, right? No, I don't believe so. Now, well, let me say no with the Scott asterisk. That's a hashtag, but, Scott asterisk could be like that. So if you look at how they're reading sensors, they always read the width, the full width, and then they read it vertically. So it technically could not have higher frame rates because it's still scanning the same number of lines of resolution. So it scans down 4K vertically, whatever it is, 4.3 vertically. If you change the size, the pixel pitch, it's still 4.3 thousand lines. So it shouldn't have any higher frame rates. It's going to have a little more noise, but shouldn't have any higher frame rates. Sorry, just got here. Hey, wait, Alexa 35 talk? Of course, Tim. We are multi-camera around here. We talk about anything and everything. It's nothing big, no problem. I'm a red guy. I love me some red. I own red. Maybe one day I'll own an Alexa. I don't see it anytime soon, but yeah. Old gear? How old are we talking? Bro, bring it. Bring it. What you got? I will totally bring out some old gear. I will do this right now. I will grab, since the dog's not in the way, I'll grab the step stool. Ow. And I'll walk over here. And I'll fall right on my rear end. What we got here? Yeah. Ooh, yeah. We're going to talk about some old stuff. Yeah. Ow! Oh, twisted my back. How many of you old whippersnappers know what this is? Ooh. Yeah. This is, they call, VHS. Super VHS. Because I have a Panasonic Super VHS camera up there. Y'all remember when I did my live stream on a VHS? I think I was the first one doing it. I think. Don't know. I was in love with the original Ursa, but never bought one. You know, I had it. It was a cool camera, but I swear to you, the moment that meme showed up where the guy had it on his shoulder and then had the screen open in front of his face, I could never get it out of my head ever again. I could not at all. So that camera, as cool as it was horrible because of that one meme. And it's like, ha ha ha. Yeah. Oh, my wife hates it when I live stream because literally I just bring stuff and set it here on my desk. So I'm going to put this back because I'm going to get something else. Wow. Let's just fall. Catch me, I'm falling. Since we're in the mood of old songs. Oh, there we go. Let's just put that up there. That was not me falling. That was a box falling. What else I got up there? I mean, there's a camcorder right there. Oh, and I have found, for any of y'all who are keyboard junkies, like not music keyboards, but typing keyboard junkies. So, like this is the small little version here of a small keyboard. This is a Keychron, and it uses mechanical slim switches in it. I have been to the moon, and really, now you choose to listen. I've been to the moon and back, testing keyboards, finding the perfect keyboard because I'm very particular. You know how OCD folks are with their sounds and clicks and all that stuff and feels and everything. Because this one, like listen to this. Listen to how this one sounds. It's kind of got a little tiki 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 tiki. I don't like that. I like a very quiet keyboard. I found it, and it is the Keychron K. Well, now I'm going to miss it. I think it's the K5. And it is the low profile K5, yes. So the Keychron K5 with the Gatron mechanical low profile switches. in either brown or red. They actually feel almost identical, but they sound amazing, and it's a full-size keyboard, but it is only this thin, which is really thin, and it is a dream to type. It sounds phenomenal. I literally waited for 9 months for them to finally get stock when they did. And when they did, because they have the opticals, and that tink, tink, tink sound, that's the optical keys. I don't like that. So they had opticals, but they didn't have the Gatron mechanicals, which are not hot swappable. So I had to buy like a couple of them to figure out which one I want. My childhood, and I'm 24. Let's see here. Does that go with your U-matic? Wow, Justin. Wow. Did someone just date themselves? Yes. You know, I almost bought a 3/4 inch U-matic back in 1992? 92 or 93. It was when I first really started writing music, I started cranking out music, and everyone kept saying you need to score stuff for films and such. And I looked into the whole thing and ultimately didn't want to go down that path. Didn't do it. But how about this? Y'all got one of them? One of them original Mac Minis? They are spectacular. Here, I'm gonna go grab my stack of keyboards, and you'll hear. Hi Rex, what you doing, buddy? I always joke. If y'all ever saw the movie Conspiracy Theory, I think it was with Mel Gibson, that the MK Ultra guys, they trained them to go buy the book, whatever book it was, but if they basically ingrained it in their brain that if you got lost and you went off the grid, they would make you buy a copy of the Catcher in the Rye. And so every time it would get purchased, they would go and find that person, because, I mean, who reads that book? I've always joked that that's my MK Ultra is my fascination with keyboards, because they're everything. So this one was the first one. This is the K3 V2, I think it was. This is the first one that had the sound that I liked. Versus this one has more of a cool sound. I'm gonna do a video one day on this, just so people can see how insane I am, and everyone will unsubscribe going, he's got a keyboard problem. He's got a keyboard problem. I do. And then we went to yep, you can hear them. So this one, I bought the optical because I thought, well, if I didn't like the switches, I could swap them out. But it's got that high-pitched sound. So this is the red version of the Gatron. It's very it's very subdued. Yeah, you gotta love keyboards to get into that. But if you're in the market for one, I have plenty. I won't sell them either. I like them. But if you're at the market, Keychron makes some really good stuff. These are only available on their website, but others you can get on Amazon. Because I probably have 20 keyboards that I've tried over the years. And I alter between reds and browns. I used to like the blues, the clickies, but I've had clears, black. I've had greens. The greens are like really, really stiff clickies. And you know, your fingers get tired of that. So I really like the red and the browns. And now, you know, you get so used typing on like the MacBooks and the laptops nowadays. I mean, why not go for the ta-da. All right, how many people unsubscribed? Oh, everybody left. They're like, oh my God, he's talking about keyboards. I'm out of here. That's funny. I mean, it is 6:05. I'm past my limit anyway. And, you know, I'll just keep going until wife gets home. So what do you want to talk about? You don't want to talk about keyboards. You want to talk about Mac Minis. Look at this thing. It's so pretty. So sturdy. And no, it will not play red files. Nick says, we just got our Aperture 1200D. I don't love the 3 reflector system, right? And, any rumors of them designing a new Fresnel specifically for this light? There are lots of rumors on it. The problem is, if you talk to 12 gaffers and you talk to 12 DPs, you'll have 24 different answers as to what they think it should be. Some people want a smaller one that outputs bigger. Some want a bigger one that outputs smaller. It's all over the map. And so that's very difficult to design an optical product, because it is an optical product, and if people aren't going to buy it. And then it's the big ones, they're heavy. Ooh. So yeah, there's a lot to that. Honestly, Nick, I don't use the super long one at all. I am almost always using the narrow or the wide one the most. Occasionally, I'll put the middle one on, but I don't ever use the tall one. But you do know the trick to getting them all into. You can get everything into the single case, including the reflectors, and that is moving whatever's in the top right. When you open it up, the top right, move that out, stick it over on this side, and then stick the nest the reflectors in there. I could show you, but it's buried in the bottom, and then my wife will get mad at me because she'll say, "Would I have to put all that back?" I'll do it. Got to go myself. Have a great weekend, everyone. Justin, thanks for hanging out and just chilling and relaxing. Nick, what do you think about the 1200D though? Is it bright? Is it cool? It's definitely bright. What's going on with my StarLink going slow? Seems to be. Did it freeze up over there? Looks like it did, didn't it? I wonder if it's going to improve. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, that's weird because the StarLink says there's no obstructions, but I think it's honestly because there's just barely enough satellites to provide coverage up there. So as soon as they get more for my area, it'll be better. All right, what do you want to talk about? I'm gonna put a timer on the clock. I don't have a way to do a timer. Do I have a way to do a timer? I don't think I do. It'd be cool if I did. Oh, I could video. Oh, I didn't know I could do that. There's a countdown video clip. That's cool. Didn't know that was a thing. Oh, they got background music. Oh, dare I? I'll have to play with that at a different time. I don't. Feeding the Ducks is the name of the. Oh, and you can add music. Well, that's cool. Well, that'll be fun. I can do that. I've joked about doing that myself. Yeah, I can do a countdown. So yeah, I'll put a countdown on the right up here. Boom, boom, boom. Anybody got any last comments or questions or anything to keep me keep me going here. Blown away by the 1200D. Haven't got to use it in a shoot yet. Impressed at how small the fixture is and how bright it is, and of course how affordable aperture is. It's crazy. It's true. It's also funny how sometimes it's still not enough. We had to use 2 of them bouncing into an 8x because we had so much strong sunlight inside that it took 2, and we wanted to be far away, really soft. It's funny. Tommy, thanks, buddy. I appreciate you, and thanks for being a channel member, Tommy. I appreciate all of my channel members. Always come around. Did they actually? Thanks for the tip. Yeah. I think. Let me look here. I could do it without pulling it out because, like, when I rent these things out, I put a picture that I printed out of the of everything in the case, the way that they got it, so that they can return. Yep. Okay. Good. So that they can return it the way that they got it. And so this. Hey, there's my phone number. Get rid of that. So that that's how you do it. So I forget what was actually here to begin with. I think it was cables or something, but you could pull it out, stick everything over, and then just nudge this over, and then use those foam inserts so that you don't scratch inside. And then you need to use the little foam bottoms that go on there. But you can stick the whole thing in there and then close the lid, and it absolutely works. And there's no denting, nothing. I mean, it's a pretty rigid case to begin with, but it is really, really easy to do. And I honestly don't know why. This is the second time I think Aperture's done this. And it's not an Aperture fault. I mean, they're trying to be. They want to make sure that everyone's happy. But it's the second time someone has figured out how to take 2 things and put it into one case. Twitter deal with Elon just did it. Did it actually end though? Because I know he said he wants out. But I mean, I'm sure they're going to sue. Because why wouldn't they? Because basically, once he's out, which he did it on a Friday, to let them know, which means on Monday or after hours trading, Twitter is going to, because, he terminates it. He terminated it. So it must be really bad, the numbers that he got. And, they probably didn't want to, they probably didn't want that information out. But you know what? Good. I'm glad. Some people don't like Elon. Some people do. I don't mind the guy. I think he's doing cool stuff with his money, so I like that. And if Twitter was not telling the truth, and he just brought that out into the world, then so be it. Good for that. What did Aperture say about the brightness of the 1200D? 90% brightness of an M18. It depends. It depends. So the Joker 1600, I think, is actually a little bit brighter. The M18, it will vary depending on the reflector that you use. It will vary between 5% brighter than an M18 and 5% less bright than an M18. But it is with the 1800 watt bulb in it. It is, for all intents and purposes, intensive purposes. I don't know what it is. Intensive purposes. For all intensive purposes, it is as bright as an M18, and the Joker 1600, I believe, is a little bit brighter than that. And that's, as they say, is that it's bright. I can tell you that. But I can tell you every gaffer on the planet, I mean, every single one of them, if they own an Area M18, or that's what they love to use, they're going to tell you that it's not that bright. But tests don't lie. There's been lots of tests I've done. And I can tell you the M18 is a fantastic one. But if you watch my video on it, it doesn't take long for the 1200D to pay off. It really doesn't. Tommy, were you just watching in the background, just listening? You weren't even paying attention. Come on, man. Come on, man. Let's see here. He said he just inventoried a bunch of old film lights and gear. It's amazing how you have to think about tungsten HMI, the amount of heat those. Oh, I know. I mean, I had, well, I still have a couple of tungstens back there. I got rid of my tungstens about 2 years ago. I still have an Ari Light 750, Ari, the open face soft light, and then I have some 750 watt ellipsoidals back there. But I had a 1K, 3 650 pluses, a 150, a 300, a 2K, and I mean, the amount of heat that they put out is so incredible. Now, yeah, it's a lot. And I cannot imagine what it was like in the old days, back when they would run the 20,000 watt tungstens all around the stage. I mean, they still do on the big sets. I don't get to go on the big sets that often. But, 20K tungstens all around. Whew, man, that's a lot of heat. Literally only got here in the last 2 comments. Tommy, you know what time we do this. You know it's every Friday, mostly every Friday, except when I don't. But yeah, so Twitter's done. That's interesting. All right, well, it is now 6:16. I'm going to do a quick check of the wife, see where she is. She's 5 minutes away. So I am going to go ahead and end this now. And she's listening. I know she's better. She can hear. So yeah. If you have not become a channel member and you'd like to support the channel that way, go ahead. Feel free to do that at the bottom. It's relatively inexpensive. I mean, I think it starts at $1 or $2, and you get to be part of the Cool Kids Club. Remember to use any of the affiliate links, the B&H links. Please use those if you buy from B&H. It really does help the channel. Help Scotty get that V-Raptor Super 35. Amazon links, same thing. I mean, literally, if you ever just think about buying something, just go to my channel and just click on one link and then just buy whatever you want. Just click on the link. It helps. All right, everyone, have a wonderful, fantastic weekend. If you are in Texas, stay cool, like literally, figuratively, and physically. Stay cool. Yeah, as always, as I like to leave it, don't let your passions center around your life. Let your life center around your passions. Have a great weekend, everyone. Thanks for everyone for hanging out. I never put the end screen. I don't know why I went 20 seconds. I just kind of like to do it. Bye. No. And I always forget that I have to wait for Bluetooth to kick back on. So I always type goodbye. Bye all. And I always forget. I always type. And oh wow, I'm screaming now. There we go. Have a great weekend. Bye.